Hello, my name's Jeff Richards. I'm the Head of Training Program Development for Sage CRM within Sage. And what I want to do today is just point out a new resource that's been added into the community downloads area to allow you as a developer, as a consultant, as a customer to be able to get a better grip on how you can use the client-side API within Sage CRM's interface. It's a very, very simple API, and we've just provided a set of a drop-in code that you can use. Now, this is found on the community, and I'll show you where you can get to here, but let me just log on first of all, and you'll see the impact of the code that we've got. Now, the purpose of this drop-in code, and it is literally drop-in code, is to provide you with examples of business rules that can be implemented in Sage CRM using the client-side API. And it's all about educational examples. It's all about making this as simple as possible. No coding is necessary and no alteration is needed in order to use the drop-in code. So there's no code to add into the custom content of any screen or into the onChange script box of a field. The whole point is that this is showing you how an externally driven file can make changes to the CRM interface and use features of the REST API or the Ajax calls that are possible within the product. So we can have a look at these as they go through. Now, I've just made the assumption that you're using a demo system. It's populated with example data, and you can see that we've also combined it with some of the refreshed of cascading style sheets using the overwrite feature that is within Sage CRM 2021 R2. You can see the drop shadows and things like that popping out different controls, and you can see there's on this screen there's been quite a dramatic effect on some of the styling of the list block that's here. Now, this is demo code, so I'll have to say that as you come into the community, and this is where you're going to grab the community, this is, you can see it's community.sagecrm.com, and it's in the downloads area, and you can find it in the general development resources. Here you can see this is where you get the code. Now, that's going to be you'll get that, you'll download it, and it's going to contain a README which will explain how you can then use the product. I don't particularly, or use the add-in. I don't particularly want to sort of repeat what's in the README file. What I want to do is show you where you would then drop the code. And here, if I switch over into, well, you can see I've got Windows Explorer open here. You can see that I've come down into my CRM installation folder, down underneath the www root folder into the JS, where all the JavaScript is stored for within the system, and you can see that I'm in the custom folder. And what I've done is I've unpacked the zip file here, which is this part of the download of Sage CRM client-side example functions, and you get two files that are installed in here, one which is an example functions file, and the other showing the, if you like, the code that is going to be included within inside the page. Any of the files that are added into the custom folder within the JS folder is where you will get an automatic inclusion of that JS file within inside every screen of CRM. So this is where everything gets included, and this is how we're able to see the change made inside CRM. Now let's have a look at what we've got in the way of the code that is contained inside these files. I've switched over into Visual Studio, and you can see that these are two straightforward JavaScript files. They contain not a whole lot of complicated code or anything. You can see that there's this ZZZ file. Make sure that it is added at the bottom of the list of files that are added in, so that you are making sure that it's added right at the bottom when all of the dependent stuff has already been executed. This makes sure it's the last thing to be executed. And you can make sure as well that the code is firing in particular context. So the 200 context there is where it says context info.act is 200. That's the company summary screen, and you can see that it's doing different things. So let's start to see what the other file does. And this is a function file that contains sort of helper functions that are performing if you like, a library job of functions which are all scripts that are then referenced by the main file. If we look in CRM, we can see what these rule changes are. And you can see that I've come straight into looking at this list. That's simply where Brian Little, as this example user, logs onto. You can see that it is showing you all of the customizations that take place. We've got a highlighted company name column. We've got rows that are highlighted if they are at the proposal submitted stage. And we've got cells which contain, and you can see here with contain particular keywords are also highlighted as well. So where there's something that is being negotiated, then you can see that being popped out as well. Okay, so if we look at other places that are showing the implementation, if we go into look at, let's actually drill down into a person's screen, and if we start to change data that is inside a screen, and we were to type in names, for example, here, and I type it all in capitals and tab off, you can see that there's script being added in to make sure that the correct capitalization takes place. There's also, if we come on to phone and email information for these, if we were to type in telephone numbers in here, let's type in swim pool as a type of example, anything that's an invalid character will be picked up as well. It's showing you how you can implement this type of behavior inside the interface. And you can see as well it's taken the save button away for that as well. So if we come back into our company summary screen, we can see that there's highlighting of the status field involved in here. And actually, if I was to click on the name of the company, we can start to see that it's kicking off little Google searches for that as well. So little rules that have been added in, including buttons, how to control buttons inside the page as well. Adding in, of course, if we were to pop up, control, and look at different features as well in here. So you've got control of the individual field elements, as we've seen in here. I've shown you the list as well that we were looking at. If I go back, though, into where we had opportunities for this and go down into an individual opportunity, we can see that there's some other changes in here, including some graphical changes. Let's just clear that off. And you can see that we've got fields change dynamically into their type, so it should show graphical elements. And here you can see as well there's some Ajax going on in here, pulling data back from within, pulling back data from the underlying company in order to display in the form of a tooltip. So you can see that we've got a variety of different small, short business rules, but the whole point about this is that it's explaining how you can do business rules, and they can be quite complex. You could have sliders and whatever you wanted to within every screen. So let's get developing with Sage CRM and designing great extensions. Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.